What a storm. If you guys are searching for clovers this St. Patrick's Day, your luck may have run out because they're buried in all that snow we just saw there. Whoa.
It's still going on, too.
Still going on. Upper Midwest, the focal point, obviously, as it moves offshore. We've got some flakes that we'll track for you this morning, too.
And that's not the only gift. Can you call it a gift?
I don't know. It's something.
Because this is what we're dealing with, a massive blast of cold air sending temperatures into the freezer for millions. After enjoying some 70s and 80s for an extended period of time, you will need to bundle up before you make your trek to the end of the rainbow today.
Ice on the vehicle this morning. You're going to want to warm that up. Good morning, everybody. Welcome into America's Morning Headquarters. Jordan Steele, Molly McCollum here. And yeah, we are still somewhat busy. I'm hoping travel today is better than yesterday.
We already have a number of delays. Those are steadily climbing. So we're hoping maybe we can keep the cancellations at bay today.
I hope so.
So that we can actually catch up. Winter Storm Iona blasting the UP with blizzard conditions.
System, Molly.
And then eventually we bring that into the Northeast, where places like Syracuse and line to see some light snow, more snow. Even as we get towards the weekend, we still have some small pieces of energy moving through, each producing very light snowfall. But notice temperatures. So Friday night when the snow starts and then lingers into Saturday, our high temperatures on Saturday are going to be in the 40s. So now you fall more into a rain-snow mix category. And that's going to be more difficult, right, to see the accumulation because obviously, you're changing the precipitation type. Today, we have leftover snow. It's not going to last for a very long time in places like Pittsburgh or Buffalo. Very light snow, not amounting to a whole lot. Thursday, this is our brand new system coming in. Mostly a rain event for a majority of us, even areas like Buffalo, more likely to see the rain-snow mix. And then Friday, we have more snow that's going to be moving through into Saturday. Let's stop this on Saturday evening. The snow primarily for the higher elevations there of New England over the state of Maine. Some rain into the 95 corridor, but for a majority of us along areas, say, Boston and Providence and New York, even down into the mid-Atlantic, you really wait for the better part of the weekend all the way into Sunday before you actually see the rain move in and the snow being confined once again to the higher elevations in areas like upstate New York. As mentioned, it's really not going to amount to a lot. Yes, we see several rounds of snow coming through, but it's very light. Most of us less than an inch, maybe some areas getting to that 1 to 3 category. If we see overachieving bands, the Tug Hill Plateau higher elevations really stand out, as they always do, with 5 to 8 inches of snow, very manageable. The 95 corridor is the area that we have the big snowfall surpluses, and that is all courtesy of our big nor'easter a couple weeks ago. It hasn't been that long, but I want to bring your attention to Caribou, because Caribou is a spot that we typically see triple-digit snowfall when it comes to the season. But you would think with all of the systems moving through the Northeast, New England this year, that we would see more snow than what we've seen in Caribou, because right now we're sitting at nearly 24, almost 25 inches below average for our snowfall. It just gives you a good idea of the preferred track that we've seen in Caribou has just simply not been in a lot of the storm tracks so far this season. All right, when do we see our average last snowfall? Well, you look at the average, and of course that tells you something, right? For most of us, it is March into the first part of April. But look at the latest snowfall, and that really tells a story that, Jordan, we may not be done this season, because we typically have, at least in the Northeast, April is very much in play.
Oh, I know. It's just like, come on, please. Now, at first glance, this right here.
Speaking of cold air, go on a journey here with me in Atlanta over the last 24 hours. Yesterday morning, 68 degrees. We had severe thunderstorm warnings. We had heavy rain, lightning. There were even a few tornado warnings that were prompted in areas around Atlanta and in middle Georgia. Let's fast forward to what we're going to be seeing today. 48 degrees. Our temperatures this morning below freezing for many of us stepping out the door. That doesn't even account for the wind chill. And not to mention, we saw snow flurries yesterday in Atlanta, less than 12 hours from when we saw the severe weather. It has been a wild roller coaster ride in the South, and we're not quite done yet, right? We have a cold morning that has prompted freeze warnings for much of the southern tier, even down into the I-10 corridor. When you see the temperatures, you'll understand why, because here's where we're sitting at right now. 25 for you in Nashville, 29 in Atlanta, even areas like Tampa, Florida, all the way down to 44 this morning. Now, slight recovery for some of us this afternoon. That is, if you like the warm air. 63 Houston, 48 in Atlanta. That's the best we can do. 40 in Nashville, 48 for you in Raleigh, but 60s for you in Tampa. So that's a nice warm up. Now, we will see some areas today approaching record cold highs. It's not uncommon to see these big blasts of cold air in March, especially mid-March, and that usually follows a big warm-up, which is exactly what we saw. But the fact that we're approaching some records today for our high temperatures just shows you some of the depth of the cold air. Now, tomorrow, these are our high temperatures. Now more of us are approaching the 60s. Notice what you see in Texas, 76 there in Houston. This is prompting and the start of a very big warm up that's actually going to lead to some 90s by the weekend. I don't know if we're quite ready for that, but regardless, they're on the way. Wind chill is a factor this morning. Certainly want to dress for, some of the numbers that are going to stay in the 30s for us today. Areas like Nashville and Atlanta, 40s for you in Raleigh. But tomorrow morning is going to be another cold morning for many of us. You will need the winter coat again. For the kids at the bus stop too, 29 in Nashville. That's our wind chill. Even 29 is what it's going to feel like there in Tallahassee. But Tallahassee, if you're there, say you're in Florida for spring break and you're like, this is not the weather that I was hoping for. It is short-lived. So by this weekend, we are back into the 70s and 80s, 82 as we get to Saturday. And for many of us across the South Jordan, we go from the freezer right back into some much warmer temperatures by the weekend.
Is there anywhere you'd rather be than right here today?
It is Tuesday morning. Welcome back into America's Morning Headquarters. Winter storm Iona blanketing Lawrence County, Ohio here. Several inches of snow on Monday. More flakes could fly today. It's not a lot, just kind of the leftovers. But we are now 3 days officially from the start of spring. And Jordan, looking at some of the upcoming forecasts, yes, it feels like it. I mean, we're skipping straight to summer in the desert Southwest, and for some of us across the southern tier this weekend. But for others, where winter has been a very good friend this season.
That's what we're calling it?
Yeah.
Right. Someone we can rely on.
Mm-hmm.
We can
very
call.
Reliable.
Well, Saturday into Sunday. Molly?
All right. If you're walking out the door in the South this morning, you're like, what happened to our spring-like temperatures? It was near 70 as we started the morning in Atlanta yesterday. And now it is below freezing starting the morning. Cold blast. But it's not going to last for very long. Tomorrow, look how that number is much smaller, 170 million of us with those highs below average. In the wake of our big winter storm, we still have power outages, not surprising, in Michigan, where we saw the heaviest snow and the strongest winds, that wind energy translating into parts of the Northeast, causing some power outages as well. Hopefully, those restoration efforts can get underway today as the wind continues to relax. But the wind is still a factor, especially for the wind chill. It is 3 in Minneapolis. That is our air temperature, not our wind chill. 9 in Alpena, 14 in Chicago. But look at how far to the south the cold has spilled, all the way to 38 in Tallahassee and even some 40s in Tampa. That is impressive and far-reaching, but it is not going to last for very long. Freeze warning this morning and through tomorrow morning. We're going to see one more cold morning. By this weekend, you're going to be like, wait, what 30s? It's going to be back in the 80s and even 90s in Texas. Today, 60s in Texas, 60s in Oklahoma City, still holding on to the 40s there. Nashville, Raleigh, Atlanta, Washington, D.C. But look at where the true cold air is locked into place, and that is with 20s and teens there for parts of the upper Midwest and Great Lakes. So cold across the South that we could be approaching some record cold high temperatures. So basically the coldest that it's been on this date for our afternoon temperature. We do tend to see some cool downs this time of year, right? How it usually goes in the South is you warm up towards the end of February, you kind of get that faux spring, and then you get Mother Nature reminds you that it's still winter time. So no, it is not uncommon to see a cool down this time of year. But just by the fact that we're approaching records shows you the kind of cold that we're dealing with. This is tomorrow morning, another cold morning, but tomorrow afternoon, we are well on our way to a warm up. A warmer climate or warmer place. If you are in the upper Midwest right now where, say, just take Marquette, for example. It was a big snowstorm for you. You're a place that is accustomed to seeing a lot of snow. But right now, your season to date total is running a 96-inch surplus, almost 100 inches above average, with more snow on the way, believe it or not. Now, it's small snow today. It's a small amounts of snow, but that's enough that it could cause some travel problems, say, at the Twin Cities, down through Des Moines, is another spot that we're going to be watching really closely. The wind is absolutely a factor, and that's why, even though it's a smaller amount of snow, it still could still slow you down. Fargo, blowing and drifting snow, as well as Sioux Falls. Even some snow as far south as Omaha by the dinnertime hour. That's now moving into Minneapolis, as well as Des Moines, not quite making it to the Chicago area or into the UP of Michigan until tomorrow. Through Wednesday, this is a look at some of the snowfall amounts, very manageable, especially compared to what we just saw for so many of us with double-digit snowfall. But here's the timing as we go throughout the day. This slowly moves to the east, and even by tomorrow morning, Chicago back in line to see some of those snowflakes up through Green Bay, where Stephanie Abrams just endured the blizzard there, through areas like the UP of Michigan and the Mitten of Michigan, even into the Ohio Valley, Jordan.
It was extremely busy, and unfortunately, we still